This episode is brought to you by Pollen. Access your App Store revenues faster and fund user acquisition straight away. To sign up, go to pollen.vc.
This is the Mobile Commerce Minute with your hosts, Rob Woodbridge and Chuck Martin.
You have found another Mobile Commerce Minute. My name is Rob.
And my name is Chuck.
We all should know by now that the transaction is not the full mobile commerce story, but it's hard to deny the amount of growth that is happening there.
Yeah, we talk a lot here about how mobile commerce shouldn't be measured just by the transaction because of the mobile influence that's happening all along the way. However, the transaction numbers on mobile are now starting to get quite respectable, if you will. And if you look at what's happening, this is a big study by Criteo, Criteo. This is based on more than 1 billion transactions in 3,000 online retail and travel businesses globally. And what they found was that 29% of all online sales now are by mobile, led by the fashion and luxury industry, mass merchants, and then travel. And what they're looking at is mobile share of e-commerce transactions grew 10% just in the last 3 months. 10% over 3. That's huge. And they're looking at another 10% growth of mobile by the end of this year. That would put mobile transactions at 33% of all U.S. online purchases and 40% of all online purchases globally. So this is very, very big. Consistent with a lot of other research we've seen, Criteo found that the majority of mobile transactions in the U.S. are coming from smartphones and not tablets. That's another big change in the market. If you remember a year ago, tablets dominated in terms of how people were buying. No longer. It's now the smartphone is back in a very, very big way.
Now, what about the breakdown of the smartphones? Because there was always that conversation we would have, right? Which was that spenders use Apple's products, and then everybody who wants everything for free is on Android. Is that still the same?
Well, Android is coming up. Of course, Apple, people still buy a lot of stuff on Apple. But if you look at market share by country, smartphone market share versus tablets, Japan 90% by smartphone, US 53%, Germany 45%, UK 44%. So a big deal. In terms of online, Android accounted for 6% of online transactions in retail and 8% in travel. iPhone accounted for 10% in retail and 9% in travel. So it's not that far apart anymore, and it really used to be.
Don't forget to come back for our next episode.